Welcome back to another episode of Plant-Based Dads. I'm Joey. We are a vegan, mostly whole foods cooking channel. We do some product reviews. Sometimes there's some episodes with Tim. If you like what you hear, please hit that like button, show us some love, and think about subscribing and becoming part of the Plant-Based Dads family. We do have a Patreon page set up. Our patrons are our monthly financial supporters that help us get the show together and get the plant-based message out to the masses. If you've ever seen the show, or if you're in the Facebook group and you've thought, how can I help? How can I be part of this? That's how you can help. There's a link below the video how you can become one of our patrons. Or if you want to just do a one-time donation in PayPal, there's a link below for that. We'd love to have you on board the team. So it's mid-November, and guess who's back? Little Red's visiting us. And Little Red's outfit is provided courtesy of the Red Elf Shop. The Red Elf Shop is your one-stop shopping place for all of your Scout Elf accessories and needs. They have so many great little outfits. Currently, they have some Van Gogh outfits, some cat and dog people outfits, and some new fun winter clothes. Of course, being here in Phoenix, Little Red doesn't do winter, as you can see right here. Check out this little setup that Juliana from the Red Elf Shop sent me. It is so cute, I had to send it to you. Again, I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but she sends me these things, and I just love them so much, so I feel like I have to share. Little Red is in this little boat, right? It's a little red boat with his name on it, Little Red. And he's got his little oars and his little life vest in case he falls over, right? And he's got his little snorkel mask and snorkel. And there's some little ocean wildlife floating around him with his little turtle here. And on the other side of the boat, it says Plant-Based Dads. Notice he's in the water, which is actually one of Tim's scrubs, but it was blue, so it made like a little water scene. I thought this was amazing. So if you're interested in Red Elf accessories, definitely check out the redelfshop.com. Let Juliana know that I sent you. I love everything they have over there. It's so much fun. While I'm doing these shout outs, I want to do a shout out to my second period math class. My 6th grade math class. It was my birthday a few weeks ago, as you remember, and Biblica gave me this beautiful little plant as a present. The kids gave me lots of presents, which was really fun. But Biblica gave me this beautiful little house plant, and it's like 3 weeks old now, and it's still doing strong. So thank you, Biblica, and your mom and dad for purchasing that for me. I really appreciate it. Biblica's a great student. Another thing I want to talk about before we get into today's meal is that, Thanksgiving's coming up, the holidays are coming up. You know, I'm still teaching 6th grade math. And video time is tight. I'm still getting them out every week. It's still a commitment that I won't drop. But in the mix of all that, my sister April's wedding is November 20th, and we're leaving next week to go. I'm actually missing 4 days of school. I'm getting a substitute. We're headed to Tennessee. It's a week-long family adventure in Pigeon Forge. Assuming the weather works out, it'll be Dollywood and the Titanic Museum, the wedding, of course. And then a lot of cooking and doing videos together. My mom's going to be there, and my other sister Melissa's going to be there. And it's just going to be a whole family reunion to celebrate the wedding of April and Derek. So I want to say congratulations to them, early congratulations. And that could affect whether a video comes out right around Thanksgiving or after it. So for today's video, we're going to get started with our holiday meals since it is mid-November. And I have got an amazing roasted potatoes recipe. Not only is it a whole food plant-based and starch solution compatible, it works on the mini also because it's just potatoes and spices. I've been eating this for the last week. It's really kind of put me in the mood for holiday meals. I've got Mariah Carey playing on the radio. Don't start with you haters. And I have just I'm into this whole holiday cooking thing now. So I'm going to show you this roasted potatoes meal. It is a base meal. You can add stuff to it, add peppers, add whatever you want to it. But it's a great casserole for the holidays, and there is absolutely no guilt. You're going to love it. Let's get to the food.
The first thing we need to do is slice our potatoes. Here I'm using a mandolin. I've got my potato in here, and then I've got this little piece on here that grabs the potato with these little stick things. And it just slices and dices back and forth. Every time it goes down, the blade lifts up and it slices. And you can see underneath here, the potatoes are just falling out. Look how thin they are. This machine does a beautiful job. It's the Pampered Chef version, and there'll be a link in the description below the video. Perfectly sliced potatoes. You could use this thing for potato chips also. As I'm slicing, I'm going to put this in cold water to keep them from browning. Next, I'm back at it, and I'm just going to keep on going until I've sliced up all my potatoes. I'm going to make about 2 pounds of sliced Yukon Gold potatoes. Once I've got all my potatoes sliced and in this cold water, I'm going to take that water and dump it into a strainer over the sink. Then I'm going to start separating all the slices to make sure I get all of them. And then I'm going to rinse them thoroughly to make sure they're clean. After that, I'm going to lay them out on a clean kitchen towel to dry off. And then I'll blot them to get any excess water off. You can see here they're nice and dry. They are ready. Next, I'm going to take the potatoes and dump them into a large mixing bowl. And since this is an oil-free recipe, I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of aquafaba from a can of chickpeas. Next, I'm using about a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. And then I'm going to use my hands to kind of mix it all up to make sure all of it gets coated with the aquafaba and the salt. Now I've got a 9x13 baking pan here, and I'm just taking some more aquafaba and using it to kind of grease the pan. Again, we're not using oil. I'm just going to get the bottom and then make sure I go around and get the side so I can get it to stick as little as possible. Next, I've got about 4 cloves of garlic here, and I've grated it, and I'm just going to kind of rub it around the bottom of the pan. And now I've got a few sprigs of rosemary from our pot growing out front of the house. I'm just going to throw that in the bottom of the pan. Now I'm going to start layering out my potatoes. I'm going to make sure I get them all in at a nice, even level. After that, I'm going to take some more of the fresh rosemary, and I'm just going to sprinkle that throughout the top. Now I've got some red pepper flakes, and I'm just going to sprinkle those on the top just for a little flavor. And now I'm going to make a solution here. I've got 1 cup of water, and I'm adding 2 teaspoons of onion powder to that. I'm going to mix this up and get it combined. And then I'm going to take the very corner of this casserole and move it out of the way a little bit just so I can get the solution here poured in. And then I'm going to tilt the pan till I can see that the liquid has gone to the other side. And I'm going to go back and forth, front and back, just so I can get all of that liquid under those potatoes. Now I'm putting this in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to let this cook for about 45 minutes. And while we're waiting for that to cook, let's go to Tim at the Raised Bed Garden and get a garden update. Tim?
All right, plant-based people, welcome back. We're doing a quick update on the garden. Because you've asked for it, let's deliver. Okay, so we talked about in the last video having the raised beds. We planted some cabbage, what I thought was celery, but I'm pretty sure now it's probably red leaf lettuce. Not doing so well, but these two look pretty good over in that bin as well. But look how good the cabbage looks. So much new growth here. Looks great. Okay, this afternoon we're gonna harvest some Swiss chard. Get that in that cannelli bean soup. That should be delicious. And then, why don't I point out, look at all these peppers. This is the second harvest on this plant. But they're getting huge. We should be seeing them in turning colors here pretty soon. They're a sweet variety. Lexx likes to snack on them, so it's perfect. They're gonna get used. I wanna show you one more thing. We'll go over here. Joey's favorite color is yellow, so I'm painting this pot yellow, and I just wanted to inspire you guys if you wanted to paint yourselves. And then on the inside now, I just need to coat that so it becomes waterproof. Once this pot is sealed, cured for a couple days, then we'll plant this fig tree into this yellow pot and have it right there. This is your garden update. See you guys next time. Bye.
All right, Tim, thanks for that exciting update from Garden Central. After 45 minutes, I'm taking it out, and you can see the edges are brown, and it's ready to go. It looks really nice. Now I'm just going to dish some of this out onto a plate and get it ready to serve. You can take out that rosemary sprig there. It's probably done its job. And look how great this looks. Those beautiful slices of potatoes are so ready to eat. Let's dig in.
All right, so you can see what I mean. It wasn't really involved to make this. It's a simple dish, and it's a really nice base to add what you want to. I mean, look at what we have here. We've got these beautiful golden potatoes. They're roasted in the oven, so they have that brown texture to them. Some of them are a little bit crispy on the end, some aren't. And you can see all the rosemary and the spices just laying in there. This is just a simple dish that you can absolutely serve as a holiday meal and eat as much as you want of it. Let's give it a shot and see what it tastes like. So good. All right, so one of the things I love about this meal is the presentation. Because of the mandolin and slicing those potatoes, it kind of gives it that scalloped feel, which is another recipe that I want to make because I love scalloped potatoes, but that's another video. So you can absolutely do this by chopping the potatoes up. that would work fine. I just feel like it gives it more of a casserole feel by having those thin slices of potatoes. So, but if you're not comfortable with a mandolin, or if you don't have one, that's all right also. So a really nice roasted potatoes recipe, great for the Mary's Mini, very light, very filling, serves about 4 to 6 people. I would say about 4 to 6 servings depending on the size, and great for any of your holiday needs. All right, folks, that's our video for today. Holiday roasted potatoes. Don't forget to check out the redelfshop.com for all of your elf accessories. Hit that like button. Show us some love. What's not to like? If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, click that bell, and you get notified every time we have a new video, usually every Monday. And leave a comment below. Have you started planning your holiday menu yet? I'm trying not to make the same stuff I made last year, but last year was all my favorite foods. The lentil loaf, the sweet potatoes. I'm trying to make some different stuff this year. But we're having Thanksgiving in Tennessee with April and her family. I'll be cooking for them because they just eat whatever I cook, right? So that's working out nicely. There probably will be a lentil loaf and there probably will be sweet potatoes. But I'm going to add this to it also because they all love potatoes over there. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.